What's going on, guys? Danny here from Soil Restoration. As you can see, we have the Camaro fired up. It's sounding really awesome. It is a little bit dirty, a little dusty from driving it, but we are actually going to be on our way to go back to the 62 Corvette that we worked on. We got some parts in for it, so we're going to go back and try and get that thing all squared away. So let's grab some tools, jump in the Camaro, and get on our way. All right, we are here back to work on this 62 Corvette. And obviously the first step in this process is we needed to change the distributor out. So we did remove the old distributor. Nothing wrong with it, it's just not quite right for this application. Now we're just going to verify we have all the parts to keep going here. We have our old distributor sitting here, we have our new one sitting here. The only difference I see is this has a cast gear on it, this has a machined steel gear. So just to be safe, I'm not sure what cam is in this motor, so we're going to go ahead and swap these gears over. Of course, you just drive the roll pin out and you can easily swap those gears over just to play it safe. Let's go ahead and do that. We have you drive the roll pin out and this gear slips right off. So we have the new and the old, so we'll swap the steel gear back onto the new distributor. Alright guys, so we got the new distributor gear swapped over, and definitely pay attention. I actually was not paying attention, and I put, obviously that one is on upside down, so that needs to be swapped around. This one is correct, so the gear goes towards the distributor body, so just pay attention when you're doing that. Alright, so our distributor is kind of just setting in place there. We did take the number one spark plug out, so we're going to crank the motor over until we feel compression, and then we're going to line up our marks on the balancer. So let me get my finger over the spark plug hole here. Yep, Gary's going to just tap the motor over. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. One more. All right, now we have compression coming out. Now we'll just line up our marks. Let me get a flashlight. All right, so we can see our timing marks on there. We're at like 94 thousandths. So a little small tap. Okay, we just went past it, but I think I can pull it back. We actually want to line up that white mark with that tab there, and that will be top dead center. Fortunately, this has a ATI super damper on there, so everything's marked out nice for us. But once we have that, then we'll drop the distributor in where it needs to go, line everything up. All right, we were able to turn that around. Now we're dead lined up, top dead center and compression stroke. So now we're going to take the distributor. We have it slid down in there. The correct way most people put it to make it uniform is this rotor button at top dead center. Number one firing position will point towards the number one cylinder. So that's what we're going to try and do. So it looks like we're about a tooth off. So we'll slide that distributor back up. I'm going to use two hands here. So we got the distributor dropped in there, and I just noticed the new distributor cap actually has a male terminals on. This cap had female terminals, so we need to source some new spark plug wires, and we're going to try and go ahead and get a brand new set of spark plugs and drop in this too. All right, so it's back in the Camaro. Go out and get some parts for the Corvette. All right, let's see how a Dodge owner likes the Mustang, or the Mustang. A Dodge Mustang owner likes a Camaro.
I love the sound of this thing.
Go ahead. Pull your paddle on the steering wheel, that'll make the, yep. And now you got rev match, so as you downshift, it'll rev up.
Wow, you got the
Heads up display, yeah. I think we may be making him a little jealous.
Gosh, it's fun. Just being a stick.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do the other manufacturers have that?
Rev match, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think like the Chevy Mustangs might. It's definitely lighter than the Challenger. You go into different modes.
Huh. Can't really take off too good. Oh my gosh, I love that sound.
Yeah.
I don't get it. How's the factory exhaust? I put aftermarket online and it sounds good.
Right, yeah. Well, the headers definitely make a difference, but it's pretty much with that dual mode exhaust, it eliminates muffler, so it's a straight through pipe at that point. There's a tiny bit of dampening in there, but very, very little.
Did the X-Pipe change the sound also?
It did, yeah. It kind of makes it have a little bit more of a smoother sound. Like drop down to like second gear from there. Yeah. Now it. That
I
sounds
love the way it just wants to jump.
right. Yeah, yeah.
And the response is so quick.
Yeah.
Is that anything you did? It's not nothing you
No,
did, right?
that's
The response?
yeah. This car actually was a blast to drive. It was a load of fun. Totally stopped. And I mean, obviously it's got more power now, but it felt really, really good.
I do love my jacket, but it don't respond like that.
Right.
Sometimes it'll even kind of feel like not quite fall on its face, but just
Yeah.
it doesn't have that response.
And is there any tune at all in it? It's just all stock.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I probably should. This is something else.
I think we have him hooked.
Oh my gosh. This thing. Honestly, I never thought.
Really.
I mean, I knew it sounded good when it came in, but I didn't think it would be like this.
What I mean, what I like about it is you can drive it.
Probably the fastest car I've been in.
Really.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're back home. Gary's probably going to go trade that in later on a Camaro.
Just might.
So we did get spark plug wires, and we were able to track down the spark plugs. So obviously we need to make these, which is good. We need to make this nice and clean looking. So let's get all this old stuff pulled off. We'll get our new stuff installed and then try and get this thing fired up. We got some nice fresh spark plugs too. These old ones were kind of gas fouled up, so there's no sense even messing with them. We were able to pick up some new ones, so we're just going to throw them in there and start fresh. Got our spark plugs installed, and I had forgot, guys, how much of a pain it is on the small block Chevys to reach down in a tight chassis with headers and get spark plugs in and out. But we did get all of them installed. Now we just have to mock up our wires and get all them made. We've got our wires all connected. We'll route them nice and neat, put them back in the holders later. We just want to get everything set. So we're going to make sure everything's out of the way. We need to sync our timing in. So we need to open up the parameters on our handheld, and then using a timing light, we need to set and sync our distributor. All right, guys, as you can see, we do have it fired up. We did have to dial the ignition timing in. We got it pretty close now. It's sounding actually really good. We did have one issue with one of the wires on the initial startup. I'll go over that once you can hear me a little better, but we're gonna let this warm up, maybe take it for a test drive. We'll be right back. Sounds good. like it wants to do something now.
Man, it does. Look, it's not smooth.
Driving around the top off an old vet. Definitely a drastically different feel than Camaro. The Camaro, you really sit down there.
Right.
We're gonna splash a couple more gallons of fuel in this thing, and let it'll have to go through a couple cycles to learn and adjust itself. We just changed a bunch of stuff on this, so get some gas in here and try that again. How small these cars are until you're actually in them.
Yeah. Especially the inside.
Yeah.
It's a big car in the front.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
That's the key. It just wants the little pedal at a time.
Yeah. Well, that and the extra fuel pressure too. We did go in and adjust the fuel pressure. It was running a little low, so we upped that, and that definitely seemed help partial throttle and full throttle, of course. All right, so you did all this fiberglass work. So you made wider wheel tubs.
Yeah, this little bit right here is
Yep.
the addition I put on it.
There, and you did a little wide body too on the outside, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all this is
Slight flare, yeah. But if at first glance you would never notice it.
And actually a third place. You have to do it. You have to do it in 3 places. You have to do it in the trunk, out here.
Oh, right, inside there. Yeah. Yeah, it turned out nice.
And the fuel tank, it barely slips in there.
Okay.
And it's just enough room.
Yeah. It's definitely a nice car. Now it sounds good.
Yeah. Sounds good, won't it?
I'm sure you can't wait until you can hit full pedal.
Yeah.
It'll be a learning curve.